Alright, wave 15 out of 15. 77% more monster life. Crit chance. Oh my god, that's gonna be scary as hell. Increased monster damage, movement speed. And they get more resistances? Well, this is big danger noodle doodle stuff. This is tier 4. Whatchamacallit. Yeah, I might die. That's crazy. Screw it. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, start it. And then
Believe me, you will fall.
Oh yeah, they are tanky boys. Oh my gosh.
Victory is mine.
Get that down. Stop it. Stop it. There's one danger noodle doodle. Can we survive? Can we survive?
Keep your precious sanity, my agent of chaos.
We survived the danger noodles.
Not all the dudes that I also just check the price. Just to say, I know.
And it could have doubled. There's a chance for it to double.
That's gonna let me leave a dumb message, dude.
I'd be right, actually.
Taking a breath, closing my eyes, taking a
Starts looking
That's
for it.
fucked up. Man. What a piece of shit.
No,
What the fuck? That's so
myself,
no, it's
so don't cross the line. All the old times stare into your eyes. Please be quiet, do not break the silence. I'm not losing time, I want to waste it with you. Please be quiet, do not break the silence. Like a doll, made of glass, I will never break if I don't let you pass into my world, my crystal ball. What's inside my heart, you don't need to know. It's been a while since I saw your face. I hope you are fine. Your things aren't here, all over my place. Maybe you're tired. It was so nice to look into your eyes. You never put pressure, never broke the silence. I'm not losing time, I want to waste it with you. Please be quiet, do not break the silence. Like a doll, made of glass, I will never break if I don't let you pass into my world, my crystal ball. What's inside my heart, you don't need to know.
Hello Exiles and welcome. How's it going today? I'm gonna show you guys my build. A couple of you guys have been requesting me to share my build, so figured why not. I know there's a bazillion Spark builds out there. I know. I figured I'd just show mine, what I do, what I am, blah 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 blah. Anywho, I want to show you guys, before I even show you guys anything, I want to show you guys my time played. So I have 36 days and 18 hours. Why are you showing me this, Solendis? I'm just showing you guys that I have a lot of hours put into this character, and I'm not some RMT YouTuber that just bought his way to have a bunch of godly gear and stuff. Not like that. So, and then I have kills. What is it? Slash kills? There. 2,417,000 monsters killed. Alright, so yeah, most YouTubers won't even show you that. But anywho, let's go into the skills. I am of course, Spark, Archmage, Cast on Shot, Conduit Build. Sorry. Alright, so, let me try and get through this as quick as possible. Gems, main skill, Spark. Level 21 Corrupted Spark. Sockets. Arcane Tempo, more cast speed, acceleration, your projectiles are faster, overcharge, more shock magnitude. I am also 100% shock magnitude. If you're running with friends, make sure if they have lower magnitude, make sure they don't shock, otherwise they're going to screw you over. Inspiration, so you can fix your mana issues. Inspiration is pretty much required. And consider casting, you get 40% more damage with spells, but you are going to take a little bit less cast speed, which is fine. We have plenty of cast speed, as you can see. So, main damage dealer is going to be Archmage, very important to have. You want to quality this up, and you want to put in a Lightning Mastery. If you have a level 21 Corrupted with a Lightning Mastery, I believe it does go up to 9%. I can't really confirm it. I haven't done it. I didn't really need, or have a need for it yet, because I pretty much do everything in the game anyways. Very fast clear speed, one-shot any bosses with a 6-man party. It is fantastic. There is some stuff, once you overcap on your shock magnitude, you can swap this out for more damage. I probably could right now if I wanted to. I just haven't. You could swap it out with a minion damage support gem, where it drains life from your minions. But you would have to run minions, and yeah, that's something else for a different video of how you can actually get more damage. But right now, this is what I have, overcharge. So in the beginning of the game, I used to use Frost Wall and Flame Wall with Rising Tempest, because you get 12% more damage. Plus, if you use an electric skill too, you get another 12% damage, so that's 36% more damage. So this is pretty nice, but I don't really use Frostwall and Firewall anymore because I don't really need it. But anywho, I am running Cast on Shock, qualityed up with a Lightning Conduit. At some point, I would love to have a level 21 Corrupted Lightning Conduit in here, but it is just fine. I'm only running Elemental Focus and Impetus, basically. Rising Tempest doesn't really do me anything. I used to swap it out with my Spark, but it does so much damage anyways. I don't even. There's other stuff you can do to get more damage from Cast on Shock, but I'm just being realistic with you guys. Like in all the clips that you've seen, this is what my setup was, so I don't want to change it up on you guys right now. But I could add a 5th socket, and I could get more damage if I wanted to, but I just don't really need the extra damage. Then I'm using conductivity. This is pretty important when you're bossing, because you want to lower their resistances, and I'll show you that you can get more minus lightning resistances just from doing some swapping to your staff, your secondary weapon. So anywho, I have Heightened Curse, Curse Ground, and Ritual Curse linked to that. And I used to use Grim Feast in the early games when I was ES, but I'm not ES anymore. I am pure mana. I have almost 11,000 mana. I could have more if I put on like a shield and stuff like that, but this is just pretty much raw damage right now. Alright, so that is it for skills and Sigil of Power. This comes from my Chiming Staff, and I have Persistence in it, so it can last a little longer on the ground. And that is this move right here. And if I cast inside of it, it gives me a huge buff. I am up to 1 million damage Spark, so it is pretty fantastic, I gotta tell you. So anywho, that should cover all the gems. Okay, there is some alternative stuff you could. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot Orb of Storms. Orb of Storms, I use this during bosses. It's very nice for applying. If you have this support gem, you can have Lightning Exposure, which is like another debuff you can apply on the enemy. And I have Conduction, so 100% more shock, so you can stack up more shocks on bosses and strip away. This enhances the Lightning Exposure, so these two combined are pretty nice. So what you do is you essentially put this down during a boss fight, you put your curse down, and your, what is this called again, Sigil of Power, and then you put your curse down, and then you just go crazy. So that should cover everything for the gems. Let me go into gear real quick. everything on my gear has mana and int and lots of energy shield. That's all you really got to worry about. And then whatever resistances you're missing. So, and then you want to get an ingenuity. Best one you can probably try and get. 50% or higher I would recommend. Is plenty enough. Mine's got int on it. I recommend int. Boots, int, mana, high ES. Then we have Moria Invictus. This is great armor piece. You want one with the 5% attributes and 5% mana on it. Very important. This is a great piece of armor because you also get armor on it as well, which helps with that 14% armor. It definitely helps against physical type monsters, so it's pretty nice. But you are going to have 51 strength and 51 dex, keep that in mind. But that is why I have this amulet. It's got all 2 attributes, so it takes care of that high requirement in strength and dex. So this is my amulet right here. It is part of my mirror service. I do have a video on mirror service. If you guys would like to mirror it, there is some slightly better amulets out there, but I'm only gonna charge like 10 divs to mirror it. Anywho, this is not a mirror service video, so I won't talk about it any longer. Alright, then rings. I definitely recommend getting a dream fragment because you don't lose all that much damage with a dream fragment, and you get a lot of survivability with a dream fragment. So I'm at 610,000, and if I take off my ring, it'll drop a little bit. Put your sapphire ring, it'll go up to 549. That is not the correct damage. What you gotta do is you gotta take off your belt and put it back on. There we go. We're at 597,000. So we only lost like 13,000 damage from switching to a dream fragment. I definitely recommend a dream fragment. It is very nice. Helps with sustain, and it also helps keep you from being chilled and frozen. Very amazing. Then the other ring is going to be a int, increased mana regeneration, cast speed, and lots of mana ring with lightning damage on it if you can muster. If it has lightning damage on it, it's probably going to cost you a lot more, but try and get mana, cast speed, int, and mana regen. Then let's go into the shield. You just want a high ES, or you can sacrifice the ES if you want. If you want more damage, just get, instead of the max energy shield and increased percent, you're going to go with spell damage and lightning damage. You'll get a huge boost in damage, like a lot, but I like to be a little tanky, so I went with this. So get all the stuff on here. +2 to levels is the most important thing on here. Cast speed could be debatable for crit chance. I am sort of a crit-ish build. Keep that in mind as well. Helmet, same thing as a shield. You just want high ES, mana, int, and you can probably swap out one of the stats for crit chance if you wanted to, but I highly recommend these stats. Wand, most important stat is the plus to all lightning spells. The higher it is, the better your damage is going to be. So whichever one is in your price range, I would try and get a +5 and crappy stats, and then later on save up for better stat ones. For me, I would definitely want more spell damage, at least 80%, and lightning damage instead of the gain 26% extra cold damage. And of course you want mana, cast speed, and int if you want. Now you could sacrifice the cast speed for spell damage if you, or crit, or not crit, a spell chance if you wanted to. It's up to you if you want more spell crit chance. So that's about it for wands. Just keep in mind you can also get a +4 to all spells, which is also very nice. It's pretty much a +4 to all lightning. But that should cover all that. And then my secondary weapon. This is very important, so you guys are gonna need this if you want to capitalize on that sigil of power, which is the implicit on this staff. And you also want the +6 levels to all spells. This is very important because it increases your sigil of power even more, so you get more damage when you have this. And the cast speed is not really a requirement, especially if you already have lots of cast speed. It is not required. A lot of people say like, hey, you need to have cast speed on it. You don't need to have cast speed on it, okay? But you do need that +6 to all spell skills. Very important. So another thing that you guys need to know is weapon swapping. So what I do is I can put down, if I use my Sigil of Power to automatically switch to my staff. But in order to automatically switch to my Spark, see, all I did was press right click. I didn't press X or anything like that. All you gotta do is go to your Spark, go to this little arrow right here, and for Spark, you want to select this right here, use with weapon set 1. You want to have this selected right here. So select that, and you'll be golden. That way, when you press R, or whatever skill you're using, automatically puts down your sigil, it automatically switches over, and when you cast Spark, actually I gotta put this back on my hotbar, it'll automatically swap back to my wand and cast my sparks. So it's automatically switching weapons and stuff like that. So it's very nice. Keep that in mind. Alright, let's go into the skill tree. So my ascendancy, I am of course the Stormweaver. Your first ascendancies you want to get is Constant Gale. You get Arcane Surge, which is really nice because it gives you cast speed and it gives you mana regen. Then your next ascendancy you want to get Force of Will. This increases the effect of Arcane Surge. Then after that, it's kind of debatable on which one you want to get, but I would definitely try and get Strike Twice. This doubles your shock effect, so you can have 100% shock magnitude and another 100% shock magnitude, and this increases your lightning conduit by a crap ton. And then your last ascendancy, you want to get Scouting Winds. This gives you more exposure, so whenever you use your what is this called again, your Orb of Storms, you'll get more exposure, lightning exposure, so it's pretty nice. I like it. Alright, so that covers the ascendancy. This is the skill tree path that I took. So we come up into here, we grab Pure Energy, Open Mind, we get Mana Blessing, we get Insightfulness, very important because we are stacking Intelligence and basically mana. Then you want to come up here and you want to grab this node right here, and I am using Controlled Metamorphosis with the Massive Ring with -5 to all resistances, and get whatever one that has any amount of chaos resistance. It doesn't matter for chaos resistance because we are CI, which is this node right here. You're immune to chaos, but your life becomes a 1, which is fine because our life is our mana. So the importance of getting Controlled Metamorphosis is to save on these passive nodes right here. So we're able to get Pure Power, which we are scaling our lightning damage up per 10 int. Then we're grabbing Lightning Quick, Drench, we're grabbing Eldritch Will, and these are kind of optional, but this gives you more crit chance to spells and crit damage. So you're getting all these just for having this 1 diamond in here. Then we're going to come on over here. I have a Adorned Diamond. This is 81%. It's pretty expensive, like 105 divs. So I would definitely recommend one that's at least 50%. Then we're going to come over here, and this is very important, Mind Over Matter. All damage is taken from mana before life, but we get a 50% less recovery rate from our mana. Then I have Extra Jewel Socket. Since we are using the Adorn, all my jewels have to be magic and corrupted. I have a video of me corrupting jewels, and some people were wondering why I was doing this, and this is the reason why. I am capitalizing on this Adorned Diamond Jewel. So on all my diamonds, I have increased shock magnitude because I like to have 100% shock magnitude because my lightning conduit just wrecks anything that has shock on it. So this is very nice. So you want shock magnitude and either crit chance or crit damage, depending on. You can even go with I think run speed, or you can go with projectile damage, I believe. And then your corrupted, you want to try and corrupt them and get either whatever resistances you're missing, or you want to get intelligence. Intelligence is another big booster in damage. And we come on over here and I get all natural for the elemental resistances. I don't really need it anymore, but hey, it gives you a little bit more damage. And then I grab this socket over here. So, and then we come over here, I'm using another expensive item, which is against the darkness. This allows me to get 60 spirit and 20% increase to intelligence. This is a pretty expensive item. It's like 130-ish in divs, but very well worth it because you get 60 spirit, and that allows you to run cast on shock, which is important for using your conduit. And then since I go down here to get these two notables because it's 5 points for 2 notables. It's really cheap, and I'm already getting branching bolt in all these two as well. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notables, and that is how I get my 60 spirit. And you got to make sure your spirit on here is plus 12. So, and then we go up into Elder Lich Battery. This converts all of our energy shield to mana. So the more mana we get, the more damage we get from this. Arcane Intensity, 3% increased spell damage per 100 mana. So the more mana you stack, the more damage. Then we have Raw Mana, which increases our mana, but we lose a little bit on the mana cost of skills, which is fine, because we can make up that with mana regeneration on our rings. So, and then I get branching bolts. Now you guys are probably wondering how I'm not connected right here. Well, that's because of another unique jewel called From Nothing. And basically this lets me allocate Elder Lich Battery, well, stuff around it for free. So anything in this radius I can allocate. Like I can allocate this if I wanted to. But these are the ones that you'll want. Branching bolt is very nice for clear speeds and maps, because your lightning is chaining 60% of the time. Now you guys are probably thinking 60%, that's not 100%, Celendus. I'm like, yeah, but you fire off like a million freaking projectiles, so it doesn't really matter. 60% feels just fine. So, and then we come down over here, we grab another jewel socket. We come up over here, we grab another jewel socket. This little node area is debatable. I like to have a little bit more cast speed for certain situations and eliminating threats before they even get to me. But nonetheless, it's a pretty good damage area right here. So anywho, you guys are probably thinking, what about these green things right here? This is actually my, when I swap to, if I press X right now, when I swap to my staff, I am actually allocating these points right here. And these are helping me get more curse effect. So when I use my conduit, I'm getting more curse effect on bosses and further reducing their resistances. So I take all these right here, and I take all these right here. And to do that, you got to select weapon set 2, and you got to put your points into it. So there is one more option. If you want to take away, I think, Faded End, you can swap Faded End for this little area right here. This will give you 40% increase area effect of curses and an 8% increase to effect of your curses. So you can further reduce the resistances if you're using your curse conductivity. So this will help out a lot. So let me swap that back and go back into here. And then you want to keep coming down here. This is what I already explained this From Nothing jewel. We want to come over here. We want to get Endless Circuit and Wild Storm. The more maximum damage you have, the better. And I'll kind of tell you why in a little bit. There's another pretty important node that we need to grab. So Endless Circuit helps with like reapplying that shock and having just consistent damage on enemies, especially bosses. Then I have a jewel. Notice how it's not corrupted. I only put this in here because it rolled really godly. It's got everything that I want on it, but the most important thing on here is recover 2% mana on kill, which is fantastic, and I love it. It really helps with sustain. Then we come on over here, we get Heartbreaking and Heart Stopping. This is just for more crit chance and more crit damage. Very nice damage nodes. We come on over here some more. We pick up these jewel sockets, and then this is the more important node that I was talking about, Lightning Rod, which are non-critical hits apply lucky So basically it's re-rolling your lightning damage twice, and it's picking the better results. So if we have a wider range on our lightning damage, we're gonna essentially have more damage, because it's gonna roll twice and it's always gonna apply the highest one, but it's best to have. That's why we get more maximum lightning damage up here. So, and then you want to come over here and get polymathy, and then you want to get all these jewel sockets right here. And I have, you know, shock magnitude and all this stuff. Shock magnitude, crit chance, and crit damage. Another good jewel is Megalomaniac. You want to try and get Frazzle or Insightfulness and Spaghettification. So Spaghettification is this. Unfortunately, I do not have it, but it would be really nice to have it. But Spaghettification gives you movement speed and 7% increase to all attributes, which scales our intelligence even more. And you want to try and get Insightfulness, because that way you can sacrifice these 4 nodes and put it into something more beneficial. So essentially, you want to get a Megalomaniac with Insightfulness and Spaghettification if you're trying to min-max. And then on the amulet, you want to put Lightning Rod as a distilled anointment. And I have a video on how to do distilled anointments. Basically, you hover over this, you look at the distilled emotions, you grab those emotions, you right click on those emotions, and you apply that onto your amulet. So that is it. That is pretty much everything for the build. For more bonus content, if you're just starting off a character and you want to just quickly like get into something, I would go into ES first, get a high amount of ES. So you want to like come down over here, grab these nodes. You want to grab some ES up in here, some ES up here, some more ES up here, and basically just get a lot of ES until you're comfortable in switching into mana. And another good cheap shield to use is the Mahawaddles, and you want to put mana sockets in it to you'll get a ton more mana. It has block chance on it, so you feel extra tanky. You get a ton. Well, I don't know how much. It's been a while since I used it, so I'm at 12,000. If I swap back to it, I got 13,000. So you get 1,000 more mana. But it's a really good cheap shield, and you can also use Everlasting Gaze as your amulet until you can actually afford a decent rare amulet. This scales off your maximum mana and gives you more energy shield. So in the beginning, I would recommend that stuff. I would also recommend just try and get as much to all skills as you can. And I would also probably recommend Chain Lightning in the beginning of the game and Spark, kind of like combination of both. Other than that, that's about it. Oh, Flask. I totally forgot about the Flask. This Flask is pretty important because it really saves you when like you're about to run out of mana. It's basically our health pot, even though it's a mana pot, but our health is our mana. So when we're low, if you pop this, it's gonna automatically fill up all your mana, and we get quite a lot of charges. We can do this like 7 times. It's pretty crazy. So I love this Flask. It is definitely worth it. Highly recommend you guys saving up for this. One of the key items you should get early on. So Flask, the belt. Make sure you got decent rings and Moria Invictus. Then you can slowly work on everything else. This, if you want damage early on, save up for your wand first. It's up to you how you want to budget things. But yeah, that's it. And if you guys have any questions, just leave it in the comments section, and I'll try and help you guys out. You guys all have a fantastic day. Peace.